So gaming has become a really big problem all over the world, not only in India, but China and Korea. They have actually designed courses in their schools so that children learn digital literacy, because increase in gaming addiction is so much that they have to establish rehabilitation centers for these children to actually go there and take treatment. I've seen a video on YouTube where these Chinese children, how they actually get treated in rehabilitation centers. Even in India, if you see recently, there was a rage of PUBG where every child was playing PUBG, and they were while playing, they used to shout at each other, and they used to get immersed in so much. It is as if it is a matter of life and death. So this is what gaming does to you, because gaming is a kind of virtual reality where people get immersed in it so much that they actually forget about their real life. And nowadays, when we see that these VR goggles and so many different devices have come which actually make it so live and stimulating that uh, the person who is playing a game will never be able to leave that. So this is what happens in gaming disorder, where a person is addicted to gaming so much that that person can spend hours together on gaming and then forget about their real life. They can stop eating, they can they stop going to washrooms, they can stop sleeping. It actually starts affecting their life, and it is really dangerous. I have read so many articles on deaths or murders due to gaming. Where recently I read an article where it had mentioned that after playing Grand Theft Auto, a teenage boy, actually killed a taxi driver because he asked for money. Okay, so it is really scary. Then there are so many games which actually have murder simulators. The games are so violent that children are exposed to such violent stuff, and then they feel that yeah, this is completely okay. If we can do it in game, we can actually do it in reality also. And then their sensitivity and empathy goes away, and they start becoming aggressive and violent on small things. So now, what are the symptoms of gaming addiction? In gaming addiction, again, there is preoccupation with gaming continuously. A person is constantly thinking about gaming, where the child, as soon as he or she finishes a task, he or she will get back to gaming and start playing games. They spend hours together, and then every few days the amount of time they invest on games will keep on increasing. It is like increased dosage of alcohol or drugs, because you don't get that kick. So just like that, in gaming, they also start using games, and they start getting involved in games a lot. They start hiding and lying about their gaming usage. Whenever they are out or with friends, they constantly talk about that only. They are only involved, or they only talk about games when they are with their friends, and they are friends with only such people who are involved in those games. So they isolate those people who are not involved, or those who don't play, because their world becomes that game or gaming. Then I mentioned about hiding and lying. Also, just like other addictions, there are withdrawal symptoms, where a person, if taken game, either PlayStation or Xbox, if the person is playing on, or mobile phone. So if a person or a child is deprived from those devices, that person can get into rage or anger, irritation, frustration, sadness, depression, anxiety. A lot of things can happen. Recently I had read an article in newspaper where I think a 15-year-old child, he killed his father because his father actually took away his phone, and while he was playing PUBG. Okay, so if you actually search on internet gaming related deaths, there are so many results, and you will go crazy reading it. So these are the symptoms which you have to look for in gaming. Again, there is social isolation, where the child you know opts gaming over other things. He will withdraw himself, or they will stop socializing, they will stop spending time with family, they will stop spending time with spouses if a person is married and addicted to gaming addiction. So these are the symptoms related to gaming. One very important symptom which I had recently come across when I was reading a lot of articles is gamers DVT, that is called deep vein thrombosis. So when we travel by aeroplanes, and if the flight is quite long, people say that you have to keep moving your legs, don't sit in a certain position for such a long time that you start developing swelling in the legs, and then it can lead to thrombosis, which is actually development of a clot in the vein in the leg, and then it can travel, it can become an emboli, it can travel in the body, and it can get stuck in either brain or heart or lungs. So same happens with gamers, where if they are spending time on games, at a stretch for 6 hours, 7 hours. Recently, I had seen a young guy who had spent like 36 hours at stretch on gaming, and then next day he died of an heart attack. Why? Because they develop the same symptoms as DVT. They develop thrombosis and then embolism, and then it can actually affect their heart and brain and lungs, and then they can die. There are so many young deaths reported because of gamers DVT. Okay. There are also gamer psychosis, where people actually lose the sense of reality and virtual reality, where recently a young boy, I think in America, had jumped out of a window to join their heroes of a particular game, because he had completely lost the touch with reality. So these are the incidences which can happen due to gaming. Obviously, these are extreme cases, but yeah, this can happen. This can actually affect your brain. I had also read about video game therapy, which is given to cancer patients, where they say pains in cancer patients is really unbearable. So what they used to do is they used to give morphine, and people used to get addicted to morphine. So instead of that, they did an experiment where instead of, like, a control group was given morphine, and a control group and another group was given video games to play, and you will be shocked to see the results, because the results were equivalent. So video games had similar effect like morphine on pain management. So you can imagine the kind of addiction this video games can get into. When we talk with parents, they say that children play, and sometimes we don't even know what they are playing, and how do we control their usage? So what you have to do is you have to keep a complete check on your child. What is he playing? Why is he playing? You have to sometimes get into that role where you play with the child, and then you will know that how this game is. Because until and unless you get into those games, you will not understand how addictive or how violent that game is. When you play that game, you can actually make your child understand what are the dangers or of playing this game, and then you can talk it out. But if you just tell your child, okay, don't play this game, this is violent and this is not good for you, they will not listen to you. You have to get down to their level, you have to play with them, and then you have to converse so that they listen to you, because then they know that you have played the game, and obviously because you know more. Talking about some stories where I have seen that child is addicted to games so much that as young as a 10-year-old child, where that child was addicted so much that he had stopped eating, he had started losing weight, and actually that led to nutritional deficiencies also. And then parents were worried, why is he losing weight, and why is he not able to gain weight. And then we realized after a detailed interview that the child was addicted to video games so much that he was avoiding everything. He was also controlling his urge to pass stools and urine, and his sleep was completely disturbed. So he had started developing dark circles. So this was a case where we had to intervene with psychiatrists, and we had to bring in psychologists and give a complete therapy to parents as well as child. And then after 2-3 months the child actually came out of it. Okay, so gaming can be really really addictive. And nowadays these gaming companies also develops such games where it has to be addictive, so that you spend more and more time on it. We as parents and we as friends, we have to be really aware about what is happening in society, what is happening in these games, how are these games. As parents, you have to be really aware about all the games these Xbox, PlayStations they offer, and you have to know which are good for your child and which are not, and then you can guide your children. You have to use parental control apps where you can see how much time your child is spending on these things. And yes, so like this you can actually have some information about your child, and then you can go to a professional if you feel there is any problem. So yeah, this is about gaming, and I just hope this was useful.